We built this rig over the past 2 years. The box was built on the back, and then from there we took on the rest. And this shower is kind of unique because it's actually a stainless steel shower.
Now that we've upgraded to something that is more like a home and has a lot of creature comforts, I just don't desire living stationary.
And then coming right here is another buyer's box, but up here is my favorite one. We're absolutely spoiled with how much storage we have. For a rig like this, if you were to go out and want to purchase one, you're going to be looking at somewhere from $500,000 to upwards of $1 million for an earthroamer, which is absolutely not in our budget. Come on in.
Will you join me? Will you roam? Make this house our tiny home.
Hey guys, I'm Cody.
And I'm Christina, and this is our home, the Desert Roamer.
We built this rig over the past 2 years. We came from a Sprinter van that we were in for a few years, wanted something bigger, decided to make it happen, and we absolutely love it. So the truck itself is a 2022 Ford F550 chassis cab. The box was then built on the back in Arizona, and then from there we took on the rest. For a rig like this, if you were to go out and want to purchase one, you're going to be looking at somewhere from $500,000 to upwards of $1 million for an earthroamer, which is absolutely not in our budget. After building our van, we did learn a good amount of skills, so we knew we could take on a project like this, and it did take a lot longer than we thought it would.
Our build technically took us a little over a year.
For a build like this, it actually was surprising how much more complicated it became just to start the build. Getting the box outsourced to get it set up, getting the truck dialed versus something like a van where you get the van, the slider door is already installed, and you could start building it. So we both felt like just to get this build going took a lot longer than we thought it would. By doing it ourselves, we probably are about a quarter of the cost of what a pre-built rig like this would be. So that was excellent. Just takes a lot of labor to get something like that done. This build taught us a lot for any challenges we'll face in the future. So really the truck is extremely capable for us. Thankfully, the size has not limited us in any way. Just the living space itself is absolutely incredible for us.
Yeah, it's the best part because one, we just have a queen size bed, so that's been an upgrade from our previous build with a full size. And we have an AC, we have an oven, and my favorite part is the shower. Living in the van for 3 years, showering outside with, you know, wind and not the best conditions was not my favorite thing. And that was one of the things that sold me on doing this new build, is that finally could give me all the comforts of living in a home. Like, I don't want a hotel or anything like that because I have everything I need in this home.
So the truck itself is pretty long. It's about 28 feet bumper to bumper. We think it's about 13 feet tall because we have a roof mounted AC. Don't know how tall it is exactly, but we haven't hit anything yet. The truck looks a little different than when we bought it. It is a 2022 Ford F550 chassis cab, so there was no box on the back of it when we got it. And it was also a dual rear wheel truck that came with factory 32-inch wheels and tires. We have since upgraded to 41.6-inch, most people say 42-inch, super single tires. The tires have been great thus far. We have 19,000 miles on the truck. The only thing that we had to do to the Ford, we did need a 2.5-inch lift to accommodate these wheels and tires. And the truck is awesome. It's pretty basic. We have manually locking hubs, less electronic things to break. But the biggest and most exciting thing is we actually have the V8 7.3 gasoline Godzilla motor. It's a lot easier to maintain than the diesel. If we get stuck in Mexico, pretty much anybody could work on it. We weigh 17,500 pounds. The truck gets 9.3 mpgs and has had plenty of power for us. The truck was white when we got it. We have this awesome tan paint job, and it's actually bullet lined. So it's a bed liner textured material. It prevents scratching with the truck being so wide and so tall, going down narrow campsite roads. And it's actually held up really well. We're really happy with it. And then up here on the roof of the cab, since we don't have a cab over box, we have a front runner Slimline 2 roof rack, which is actually awesome because it's modular. I can mount things wherever I want. So starting on the box itself is a Morgan industrial aluminum box that measures about 14 feet long, little under 8 feet wide, little under 8 feet tall, and it's been flawless for us. So from the cab to our living space, it's actually not connected. So inside of this discreet Overland cargo door, we have a massive garage. And this was one of the biggest reasons for us to have a custom truck camper, so we could store our 4 bikes inside. Bikes being outside for security, for longevity of the bikes just doesn't make sense for us. And this garage also gave us a massive space to store 92 gallons of fresh water, our entire electrical system, and it's heated. So on those cold nights, we don't have to worry about plumbing lines freezing or our lithium batteries having an issue discharging or recharging. So we have 4 Battleborn batteries, and we're running a 24 volt system. So we have 540 amp hours at 24 volts, which I believe equates to 12,960 watt hours. So we have a massive 5,000 watt inverter, so we can run our electric oven, induction, any 120 loads all at once. That was really important for us. We have 2 solar controllers because we actually have 2 different solar arrays. So we have 2 490 watt panels on one controller, 2 175 watt panels on another. Our main entry door is unfortunately right above the rear axle, so we needed a good stair solution that we could take on and take off quickly and efficiently. So these are the Torque Lift, I believe, glow steps. They have these little glow squares in the corner so you can see them at night. So when we do take them off, which they just have a simple pin, we store them in this buyer's box right here. That's full of our dirty mountain bike shoes right now. And then for the door itself, this is a Overland Wildlands door that clips on to the side of the box here. And the door is actually 2 pieces. So we have the exterior of the door that of course locks, but the best thing I would say about this door is the screen. So you could lock this screen, sleep with your doors open at night and be safe and secure. They do say it is bear proof. I hope we never have to test that, but this has been a wonderful product for us thus far. And then you could see our small window right here that's above our kitchen. That is also a Arctic turn Overland window. We have those all the way around the box. And then in the back of the truck is probably the coolest, most unique thing. We actually have a fold down rear deck that connects our living space to our patio, as you could say. So we have AstroTurf on here. We wanted to separate the inside from the outside while still having it connected. So that's why we studded out a wall and put a door in, got a little light bar up there so we could hang out at night, and we absolutely love it. And then coming right here is another buyer's box, but up here is my absolute favorite one. We have a wood-fired smoker in here. So we have a little wood-fired grill. I carry around mesquite wood so I could smoke meat wherever we are. We're absolutely spoiled with how much storage we have. So now that I've showed you guys the outside of the truck, we're gonna head on inside. And you are not allowed to wear shoes inside our build. Shoes stay outside. And it works out very well because we have shoe storage as soon as you walk inside of the truck, so that there's no clutter. Come on in. So now that we're inside of the living space, I wanted to just give a quick overview of why we came to this layout. We wanted the bed in the front of the box above the garage so it felt very open, and we wanted this middle section where the seating is, where the cooking areas are, to also feel open And then in the rear of the truck, all the floor to ceiling structures are as far back as possible so that it didn't make anything feel closed in. Behind me is our kitchen galley sink area. So it's really important for us to have a huge, I would say almost 4-foot slab of counter space. So this is where I can work. This is where I chop vegetables, do all that sort of thing. And then right here in the corner is our massive Ruvati 19 by 21 sink. It's a stainless steel sink. You do have to upkeep it, clean it a little bit, but we absolutely love it. The sink itself is awesome because it has a detachable sprayer, and then it also has a fixed arm right here. But the coolest thing about the sink is I can actually unthread the faucet head, hook up a shower hose, throw a shower hose outside, shower outside. I could wash off the bikes. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1, which is super important in a small space. And then down here is a massive, massive amount of storage. Under the sink, we have our gray water jug, which is a 5-gallon jug, which is on a 2-way ball valve, so we could actually drain it inside to the jug or outside. Right here we have 3 massive drawers. Top one is utensils, cutting boards. We have dual latches and catches on them, and I love these cabinets because there's no drawer pulls. All the handles are cut into the cabinet box itself. Since the bench does run into the cabinet, it kind of became a dead space zone. So we have a little door, and all of our dirty laundry is in here. We store yoga mats, and we also have our Clear Source Ultra 3 water filtration in there. So the water gets filtered, it's tucked out of the way, and we never see it. Up above the sink alley, we have 3 massive overhead storage cabinets. Again, no handles. And these actually don't have any catches or latches on them because we have a front runner on the upper and lower shelf, so nothing can tip out, with mechanical struts, all Blum hardware, very nice stuff. In this corner here is the system monitor zone. This is the Victron Touch GX70 screen. So we have incoming solar being monitored at all times. And then right here is our AquaHot touch screen system control. We have a AquaHot 125G. It's a hydronic gasoline heating system. So it heats air and water all in one with a coolant loop. And I can actually independently control the living space temperature, the garage temperature. I can have just air on, I could have just water heated, or both at the same time. Absolutely lovely. Moving over here is the bathroom. So I have a light right here that lights up our shower stall. And this shower is kind of unique because it's actually a stainless steel shower. There's 5 pieces of stainless steel that were welded together to create this little compartment for us. We had a local welder do this for us. The reason we wanted the stainless steel, besides it looking really cool, is because we don't have to worry about moisture in here like you would with wood or other materials. It did add a little bit of weight. I would say it's about 30% heavier than if you constructed a shower out of 3/4 inch plywood. So really not that bad. And the fabricator made this really cool wood grain pattern for us to match our cabinets. The shower stall itself is 32 inches deep, 30 wide, 78 tall. I'm 73.5 inches tall, so I wanted to be able to scrub my hair out, put my hands above my head. For the door, we have one of the Nautilus doors. It's okay, it does the job. I think it's a little janky, but it's better than having a curtain. And then down below, we have a Compo Closet Cuddy composting toilet. That's a mouthful. We love this toilet because it's really small, it's compact, and it does a pretty good job at composting the material without it being vented outside. So we actually don't have any hoses or fans running outside, which is nice, but being smaller, Christina can change out the entire toilet herself versus some of the larger composting toilets. And then down below, we just have a bamboo slatted platform, bought it off Amazon, that we stand on so that you're not standing in the water when you're showering. Up above the shower, we just had space left over, so we made this overhead cabinet. We have a mini washing machine up here. We keep our door covers up here, binoculars. It's a catch-all. I need a stool to get up there, so it's really things that we do not use on a daily basis. And then right here is the rear turn overland wildlands door. This is how you go inside or out to the deck, back in the living space. It would have been pretty cool to drop the deck and have this entire space open, but then there would have been no privacy. So by doing this, we could open this door, sleep with the deck down at night, and it still makes it feel like we're in our space. Then coming over here, we are now on the passenger rear of the truck, and this is the sweetest floor to ceiling cabinet that we could possibly think of and design. This thing came out perfect. We wanted a massive fridge, almost eye level. So we have this huge Isotherm Cruise 200 stainless steel fridge, and it's awesome. Can hold 2 weeks worth of groceries. The right side is fridge storage, so multiple shelves. The left side is awesome because we have meats, we have ice cream, frozen fruits. So having the two spaces split is awesome. And then over here on this side of the cabinet is actually the compressor vent, and since we're desert people, we had to kind of have a desert theme in here, so cool Saguaro logo that was cut out on a CNC router table. Up above the fridge, we have bifolding doors, and we have our Instapot in here, induction cooktop, everything, and it's a very deep cabinet. We do also have ventilation holes. I will be adding a computer fan in here. The fridge does put off a bit of heat, and I think it could be a little more efficient if I was exhausting out some of the hot air. So that's something I'm gonna do in the future. Down below the main fridge, we actually have another fridge freezer. It's a Isico JP50. It is not on slides. It's kind of a tight cabinet, but I really don't mind. I simply just slide it in and out as needed. We're pretty picky eaters. So between the two fridges, we could have meat for almost 2-3 months, as well as frozen fruit. It's really nice. And then moving right here is our cooking galley, cooktop, countertop, whatever you want to call it, with a window right here. So we can exhaust our Maxair fan, which is right here, sucks out all the steam right above the cooktop. And the cooktop itself is a Furrion dual induction cooktop. It does use a fair bit of power, but that's why we have such a massive battery bank. We have a Furrion electric chef oven. We absolutely love this thing. When we're not using it, we do store things like sweet potatoes in there. We keep all of our baking sheets, things like that. But we use this thing on a regular basis. I make bomb cookies, pizzas, all that kind of stuff. And then in the doorway, we actually have a countertop extension. So we have flip ups that lock in place. So now I have a massive amount of counter space, and I can also sit on the couch, and this is where I work primarily.
So working on the road, I do social media and marketing, and Cody here.
Yeah, I do anything in the realm of photo and video work. So we shoot photos for outdoor companies, and we really don't have many costs out there. The only debt we have is paying off the truck, which is our one big goal. Living simpler and maybe not making as much money as some people works for us because our costs are a lot lower. Now that we're all done with the cooking galley, we have the main entry door behind me. You need a good storage solution besides the bed so you can hang out with your buddies, do work, whatever it is. So we have a small bench, but what we actually ended up doing was creating a slatted design. So the couch extends out, you drop the cushion down, and the bench went from a lot smaller to a decent size bigger. And then down below is actually the main heating vent for the living space that blows hot air towards the back of the truck. We also have another one right here that blows hot air towards our bed. On top of this being a comfortable place to sit, it also, I'm gonna remove the cushions here, swings open. So we have just some standard door hinges, and it folds all the way open, and that's where all of our plumbing components are. Coming up here on the bed, it's nice to have the bench here, easy step up. And this is a queen size bed that is east to west. We sleep on either end depending if the truck's flat or off kiltered. Gotta have a window right here for ventilation on those warm-ish nights. But on the hot nights, we actually have a roof-mounted AC right here. This is the Nomadic 3000 24 volt AC. Extremely efficient. We actually have more solar than the AC will draw during the day, and in the evenings as the temperature drops, it barely pulls any power. And then with this being an 80-inch long queen bed, we had 13 inches of room left right here. So we have an awesome bed cabinet, and this stores all of our clothes. We also have a little projector right here that projects onto a screen that we could set up on the other side of the bed so that we can play Xbox at night. We can watch Netflix at night. It's a little messy in here, but we have all of our games in here, the Nintendo Switch, the Xbox console. So if you guys play Xbox Live, hit us up. And then over here is Christina's clothing cabinet, which is the same exact thing with multiple shelves and bins. And then in the very back, we had a little bit of space left. The roof of the box actually curves, so we didn't want this cabinet going all the way to the front of the camper. So Christina has some open shelves for things like her water at night.
Living in the van for 3 years, we just were never tired of it.
No.
And now that we've upgraded to something that is more like a home and has a lot of creature comforts, I just don't desire living stationary.
We've been in this about 1.5 years with the truck done.
And we love it.
We absolutely love it. Every single day, we say to each other how much we actually love living in here. So unless you want to buy it, make me an offer.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for watching this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you soon with another unique home tour.